Namaste. Welcome to International Day of Yoga. If we are aware of our stress and anxiety and the physical pain. On the other side, we are also experiencing that very often in our life. But your mind and body is telling or whispering to you, or it's a time to recharge, or it's a time to slow down, or you might have to recharge and rebalance yourself. What if this recharge or the rebalance or realignment also helping you beyond you? So beyond you, your mind, and it's also helping you, your planet. So that's what in this year, the theme of International Yoga Day is the One Earth and One Health. So today we are exploring a bit more deep into yoga. So not only yoga as a wellness trend or a fitness practice, so beyond the asanas or the breathing, we are exploring the healing element of or healing aspect of yoga. So whether how yoga can be clinically helpful or yoga as a therapy in the healing or when you're having a physical pain or when you're having a physical illness. And whether you are new to yoga or you want to explore a bit detail into the emotional and mental well-being through yoga or to elevate your healing journey of yoga, to understand the elements of the yoga therapy, or if you want to connect to that inner self, the you inside, or to elevate your self-care or your self-love, or to elevate your inner connection, you are in the right place. So today we got Dr. Jasmine from Sydney, and welcome, Dr. Jasmine.
Well, thank you very much.
And as we are on the 11th International Day celebration, the theme of that this year is One Earth and One Health. And how do you resonate this idea of One Health, One Earth, personally and professionally?
First of all, for all those who are watching, happy International Day of Yoga. And this year we are celebrating for Yoga Day the topic Yoga for One Earth and One Health. I think it's a wonderful topic because yoga believes, the Vedic philosophy believes that human body is made up of Pancha Mahabhutas, that are mainly the five elements, that is earth, water, air, Vayu, ether, and also fire, that is Agni. Like when you consider the human body, the blood, the fluid is comes under water element, whereas the body organs comes under the earth element, and then the breathing comes under air, and the hollowness or the Agni fire comes under the digestive fire, which helps you in the digestion. So human body actually represents the different parts of the universe, and when this is a balance, it is called health in yoga. Whenever one of the element gets abnormal or the balance is lost, that's when it is called disease. Like for example, when they tell the Agni element or the fire element is more, that's when they believe that you get gastric, heartburn, and regurgitation issues. So they tell the Agni element or the fire element in the body is more. Or when you have more issues with your or organs, like whenever it is related to kidney or any other aspects, they tell the earth element has an imbalance. Or whenever you have an issue mainly with the body fluids, like because you're not drinking good amount of water, or maybe the urinary infection, all these things are considered to be the water element. So complete the main concept that yoga believes is a balance of the five elements that the human body is made of is leading to health. And whenever one of the element becomes imbalanced or becomes more or becomes less, that's when you get the disease. And that's how this yoga day, we are looking at this concept, trying to be healthy by being a little mindful of balancing all these different elements in the body. And also, this yoga day, we are just trying to tell people that when you're eating, when you're drinking, when you're doing any lifestyle, just be a little mindful of what you're doing, because at the end of the day, it should benefit the universe. It should benefit the earth. And we all know that we are always linked in that circle of life, like when you come and then you also return, right? And when during the stay in your on this earth, you get all the great products like the food, everything, water, the fresh air, everything you get from our mother earth. But you have to be mindful to return all these lovely elements in the right way. Like when you're using plastic, you're not helping the mother earth to be actually keep up with her gratefulness. You're actually polluting the earth. Or when you're not taking care of the amount of water you're using, the amount of water, how mindful you're using the water. So all these things are in turn is what we are returning to the mother earth from what we are receiving from her. So just this yoga day, we are looking at balancing the five elements in our body, that is the Pancha Mahabhutas, and also returning to our Mother Earth what we have received from her in a holistic way. And I think it's a wonderful concept to be a little mindful of and to celebrate on this 11th International Day of Yoga.
Beautiful. So that's a deeper connection to your body and also with our environment and with the earth or the
Yes.
planet that we have. So yoga works. That's the beauty of the yoga, where yoga connect with your body, mind, and also the universe.
Yes.
So that especially when in the earth we got the Panchamahabhutas, so the five elements,
Yes.
and also same that five elements in the earth exist in our body. So
Yes.
that become so that the union, so that we have when you are aligned, when you're balanced in these elements, so we become where our health become more elevated, or
Yes.
it become more balanced, or
Yes.
we have that balanced body and mind.
Yeah, because we also believe that human body itself is a universe, right? You see the universe outside, like the sky, the air, the earth. But they believe that in yoga philosophy, that your body itself is a universe which is made up of these five elements, Panchamahabhutas. So if you treat your body well, you also treat your surrounding well. So that's how you actually can address. And that's why they tell treat your body well, because that's how you're going to treat even your surrounding.
Beautiful. So I know you've been a little bit working around the aspect of the deeper elements of yoga. So beyond the normal yoga, so you have been working bit of research on yoga, but also working therapeutically with the people or working with the clients and helping in their healing journey, or especially working with the some of the illnesses
Mm.
that they experience, so that you are more focused on yoga therapy as because you have done your studies in clinical yoga. So apart from being a naturopathy and yoga doctor for 5 years, and then after that you have done that post graduation in masters in clinical yoga. So you got that expertise. So when you're having with that expertise and that wisdom, and from your experience working with the clients with the yoga therapy, so, what are the key components that you believe that it helps in people's emotional and mental well-being, or in that perspective of clinical aspects?
The first question when I tell people, oh, I'm a consultant in yoga therapy or clinical yoga, they're like, what's this? We have never heard of yoga therapy. So I think first I would like to educate people of what yoga therapy is. So yoga therapy is different from yoga, because yoga, when you tell, oh, I'm doing yoga, you could be doing yoga for anything, just for health or just for fitness or just because you want to learn some exercises or some asanas. But yoga therapy is more for a disease or more for your particular focus on a particular health condition. So when you are doing yoga or when we are teaching yoga, like people tell, oh, I have diabetes. Can yoga help me? Yes. And when we give you particular asana, particular pranayamas for that particular condition, that is called yoga therapy. So that is how yoga is different. Like in yoga, you might be learning everything. Like you are not mainly focused on a particular health condition. But in yoga therapy, we particularly focus on a goal, like maybe it can be just improving your health or working towards helping with a particular condition. So that is how yoga therapy is different. And with my way of telling how it is helpful for yoga therapy is, especially when we are looking at condition, like people, when they join yoga, some people have a specific aim that they are looking at. Oh, I want to lose weight. Oh, I am just looking at helping my back pain. I want to control my blood pressure with learning yoga. But when you do not know what particular yoga you should be doing when you have that condition, then you might not be greatly benefited by just practicing yoga. So I have heard clients coming to me and telling, I did yoga for 2 months, but I did not get any benefit. Then when I ask, what yoga did you do? They just give me different yoga that they saw on the YouTube and they're learning, but they did not actually do the actual asanas and pranayamas, which would help them in a particular condition. For example, mainly nowadays, people are stressed, anxious. So anxiety and stress is a main thing that most of the people want to learn yoga for. So when you have stress and anxiety, the main yoga that you have to look at is practicing breathing exercises, because breathing exercise, when we are stressed, the first thing that affects is our breathing. We do not concentrate how fast we are breathing or how much oxygen we are taking or how much oxygen our body is receiving. And also to a lot of pranayamas. And in pranayamas, we have to concentrate on cooling, because when you're stressed, anxious, you can feel that your body becomes hot or all your metabolic rate goes up. So in order to bring it down, we need cooling pranayamas, and when maybe a little bit of relaxation and meditation. So we may not have a great benefit by doing all the other asanas. So without understanding what practices you have to do, if you just do yoga, you might not get the maximum benefit. So that's how yoga therapy is different. And that's how people have to understand that when you learn yoga, if you're looking at a particular aim or a particular health condition or a particular health reason for what you have to improve, you have to learn yoga therapy, not just a general yoga.
Yeah, beautifully said. So when it comes to the yoga therapy, so how does it differentiate from a normal wellness therapy? So because what I found, I've been researching a bit deeper. So over the years, so yoga has become, millions of people are doing online yoga now.
Yes.
So that's with the COVID, that time has changed. But also, the wellness industry of yoga is worth of $215 billion.
Yes.
So that means it has getting popularity across the world. And one interesting fact is yoga is the growth of yoga connection or the practice is 9.5% every year. Every more people are connecting. But what I found the interesting fact is that yoga therapy is acceptable more. That means it is 13.5% people are more aligned to yoga therapy because it is accepting and they are more coming into that field of yoga therapy. So
Yeah.
it shows that yoga therapy is always really fast moving along with that fitness trend. So
Yes.
what do you think that the trend of yoga therapy, why it is getting more aligned or why it is getting acceptable as a wellness industry or as a wellness tool or as a healing journey?
That's mainly because yoga therapy looks at the integrated approach. So, what do you mean by this integrated approach? So, when we do yoga therapy, it helps at different levels, like physical level, mental level, emotional level, and intellectual level. Okay, I am not going to the more severe because they tell, oh, you become one with the consciousness of the universe. But maybe for us, we just look at the different levels at the normal human being, like physical, mental, and emotional level. So when you do, for example, I'm just doing exercise, I'm doing a breathing. So when you do a pranayama, you're actually concentrating on where you're inhaling and where you're exhaling. So you have three levels working there. The conscious breathing happens with the emotional level also, and physical level, and mentally also you're concentrating on your breathing, and it is affecting your body. So it is affecting at the physical level. So physical level, you're breathing, and when you're concentrating on your breathing, it's the mental level that you're working, and it helps you to calm down. It's when you concentrate and relax, you feel calm. So that's affecting an emotional level. So when you're practicing yoga, it's not just one level that's affected. For example, when you're running, how much of us are actually concentrating on how we are breathing or how our heart is beating? But we are more concentrating on running, right? The pace, the speed, or your how much energy is burning. But we do not concentrate how we are breathing. Oh, how is our heart beating? So it is mainly happening at a physical level because you're not aware of what changes are happening in the body. But when you practice yoga, we concentrate, like when you're doing the stretches, when you're doing any breathing exercise, pranayama, every yoga teacher stresses on concentrate where you inhale, where you exhale, feel the stretch. Means you are aware of what is happening to your body when you're doing a exercise. And when an exercise or when any therapy can affect you at different levels, you obviously get more benefits because it's just not helping you in one condition. Like people come to me and they tell, oh, I have anxiety. Can you teach me some exercises? And when I teach them exercises like breathing or anything, after the session, they tell, oh, it's not just helping me mentally, but I even feel good in my body. That's the different levels yoga can affect when you do it, because you are actually involving different concepts of your body in practicing the therapy. So that's how I feel yoga therapy or is so different from other therapies, because not all therapies can benefit you in helping you with different levels, but yoga looks at different aspects of the person.
Beautiful. So when it comes to yoga therapy, it is more in an integrated approach in all levels of the human being.
Yes.
And one of the like people always want that it has to be aligned, or that it has to be logically connected. So I think that's one of the missing thing that people miss. Oh, how can I believe this? How it works?
Yes.
And also now the science has explored very well in the research
Yes.
of yoga. And one of the, I think, deeper research comes into the neuroscience, right?
Yes.
So can you explore just to understand a bit more of yoga rather than just doing yoga? So what is that neuroscience behind yoga? So just in a nutshell, in a short version, can you just quickly highlight so that people understand it is not just the yoga, just doing the breathing and just doing the physical postures, or standing in that one leg, or stretching the your body. It is not that. What is that little bit of neuroscience inside the yoga?
Yeah, if I have to talk about neuroscience, it's a very big concept because when you learn clinical yoga, you see that every asana, every pranayama has its own beauty of how it affects the body, right? Every pranayama affects the body differently. For example, the neuroscience that you were talking about, we tell people breathing in right nostril breathing, that is Surya Nadi pranayamas, only right nostril breathing, is very different to left nostril breathing. And they are like, how can it be different? No, that's because when you dig deeper into the scientific level, the way the nostrils are connected to the part of the brain, right and left, and the way they act is very different. So that's why we tell that the Surya Nadi or the right nostril breathing, when they did a research, there were multiple research which they did where they saw that whenever it's the right nostril breathing, Surya Anuloma Viloma, the oxygen consumption, the way the body used the BMR, the metabolic rate of how the body was functioning was very different to when they did the left nostril breathing. So whenever left nostril breathing was done, the oxygen consumption went down, the metabolic rate was low when compared to the right nostril breathing. And that was a very strong scientific evidence which shows that every type of breathing, every type of pranayama you do will bring in a different effect in the body. And that's how we also stress about why you have to do particular pranayamas to get a particular benefit. For example, the cooling pranayamas I was talking about, Sadanta, Sheetali, Sheetkari. So when they made people, they took a bunch of people, they made them only when, especially people who had known, were known for having anxiety, stress, they gave them only this pranayama. And for one more group, they gave a combination of all different pranayamas. And when they compared the results scientifically in the lab, they saw that with different scales, with different readings like their heartbeat, their blood pressure, their oxygen consumption, all these things, when they compared this rate, they saw that people who were doing Sadanta, Sheetali, Sheetkari, the cooling pranayamas, were greatly benefited and their stress levels were brought down considerably when compared to the people who were doing everything together. So that's how specific pranayamas can help you, because as soon as you do, overall help that you get is when you're breathing consciously, you're pushing more oxygen to your body. And it is a known concept. As soon as your body gets good oxygen and you can remove the excess carbon dioxide, you automatically feel better, because every cell in the body, every organ in the body depends on how good the oxygen supply is. For example, you get a wound or you hold the hand tightly for 5 minutes. When you release, why does it become pink? Or why does a wound? Because maybe there was no enough blood supply, which means there is no enough oxygen supply, right? So as soon as you release, you get good blood supply, good oxygen supply, so you feel better. So same concept, yoga, automatically the normal breathing helps your body to get good oxygen, and that's how it helps the overall system to feel better.
Beautiful. So we can really understand yoga therapy. It's beyond just not normal of
Yeah.
yoga, but there is a deeper understanding of our neurology, biology, and physiology.
Mm.
And it is also impacting our nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. So, which is the major driver of our body.
Yes.
And also, another thing I also want to bring on was the connection, because here's where the yoga is basically the union of our body, mind, and
Mind, body, and soul. Yeah.
soul, or the spirit. So this is another layer and of modern science bring is there's a when when your heart and the brain is connected, when your logical mind and the emotional mind is connected, then you are having better balance. So that there was the you having that well-being, so that it is connected with the spirit or with your soul well when you are aligned with your body and with your heart and the brain. That's called the heart and brain coherence.
Yes.
So I think some of the practices of yoga can significantly connect or to establish that balance or the heart and the brain coherence, so that our frequencies of the brain are working in a certain manner which brings the balance.
Yes,
Is that
because
clear?
yeah, sorry. Because yoga is not just you're doing some exercise. You are actually taking care of your body or getting to know your body or respecting your body. Like in an everyday life, we are so busy doing things. We never sit once and concentrate. How are we breathing? How is my mind thinking? Is my mind relaxed? Or how is my body stretching? Because when clients do yoga for the first time, they're like, we never realized our body was so stiff. Yeah, because I'm like, did you ever try doing stretching and seeing how much you can bend or how much you can move? No, because our everyday working, taking care of the family, doing things is our life is so busy. We do not know our body. We do not know how much our body can stretch, how much your body can bend, or how your body is. So when you do yoga therapy, you are getting to, oh my God, I did not know I can bend so much. I didn't know my body was so flexible. So you are getting to learn about your own body. So it's just like talking to your body when you do yoga.
Beautiful. So it is a profound science, and there's a scientific research and scientific connections and the scientific proof that we have now with with the research that yoga can help in managing the illnesses or the help in the pain management or in the healing journey of the individual depending on what condition they are in. So that's the beauty of the yoga therapy, and also that's why it is getting popular and people are more leaning into not just not yoga but this also the deeper aspect of yoga as a healing as a healing modality. So now, as your practice, you've been working with the patients or the clients working with the yoga therapy, and because you have that deeper expertism in the clinical yoga. So, what is the some of the misconceptions or I will say the limiting belief of the people that you have experienced on this path? Because maybe everyone doesn't resonate or everyone believe this will work
Yes.
or it is. So what's your the what are the challenges that you have experiences on your journey of working with these clients in the yoga therapy?
Yeah, so one thing why yoga therapy hasn't got the level of popularity or things that it had to get is because of some of the drawbacks or misconceptions people have. So people do not understand or realize that yoga therapy is different to yoga. Right, so people when they as I told you in the introduction or in the first part, where when I tell you, oh, have you been doing some yoga for that, they're like, yeah, I have done yoga I've been doing yoga for 3 years, but still my blood sugar levels are not controlled, or still my I don't feel the effect. Because have you been doing the particular therapy or asanas or pranayamas that you should be doing for that condition? No. Like I told you, just an example how doing cooling pranayamas in stress benefited better for that group than when they did other group did the same, did a combination of other yoga and pranayamas. They didn't get as much benefit as the other group got, because every pranayama, every asana has its own particular benefit. Right, so that's the main thing. People, when they're looking at particular benefits from yoga, I want to do yoga for getting my blood pressure under control. I want to do yoga for getting my anxiety under control. I want to do yoga mainly for relaxation. You should be doing particular therapy. Maybe overall yoga may not benefit as much as you expect it to be. So, if people are looking for certain improvement in health or something, I think yoga therapy is what you have to learn. Because yoga overall might not be a great benefit for your particular condition. So people do not understand this difference. So they do an overall yoga and they say that, oh, it didn't help me much. So that's the first misconception. And the second one is, when you learn yoga, make sure you're learning from the right teacher. Okay, because I have studied yoga for 8 years. I did my undergraduation, I did my doctor of medicine in clinical yoga, so I know how things work. There is a difference between a person learning yoga in detail or knowing it well to a person who's just doing 1 month of yoga training and teaching yoga. So they might not actually understand why we are doctors in yoga, because we learn in depth of how yoga can help you, how it can affect you. For example, when you have a severe back pain, you should not be doing forward bending like padahastasana, because sometimes the way you're bending, it can trigger or it can increase your back pain. Okay, but people who learn yoga just for a short duration, maybe for a month, just for teaching yoga or a training, they might not be able to understand all these concepts. So when you go to a normal teacher and then they teach yoga and then you do the posture, there might be, your condition might become bad. Like I had back pain, I went and did yoga. So you did Surya Namaskara, you did forward bending, and then your condition became worse, and then you blame it on yoga, telling I did yoga and it became all bad. Right? So when you, the more yoga therapy is important, but from which teacher you learn or how much knowledge the person who's teaching you has is very important. There is a difference between learning from a person who actually knows what they're teaching to a person who's just doing it as a normal session. So these are some of two major misconceptions people have. They put the blame on yoga. Yoga is not wrong, but you have to know from whom you have to learn if you're looking for particular benefits. And yoga therapy is not similar to doing a overall yoga.
Beautiful. On the so when someone is looking into start as a yoga therapy, what is your recommendation and where they should start?
So obviously, if you're looking at yoga therapy for a particular condition, for how you can benefit, for what a condition you are looking at, first look at which teacher you can get to teach yoga therapy, because not everybody is aware of yoga therapy. Okay, we are called doctors in yoga because we understand how one particular asana or one particular yoga can affect your condition, and for which condition which yoga is beneficial. So not every teacher that does a yoga training will know all these concepts. So if you want to learn yoga, first make sure if you know a good teacher who can teach you the right therapies, right asanas and pranayamas, which will benefit your condition. Okay. And then if you're doing yoga therapy, you should don't have to do all the stretches. We are not make think in yoga therapy, we are not concentrating on making you stand in one leg, increasing your flexibility, make you do complicated pose. No, that is not the aim of yoga therapy. Yoga therapy, we look at just improving your condition with exercise or with particular posture. So if anybody is starting their yoga therapy journey, you can come to me, but I'm not giving my advertisement. I'm just telling, find the right teacher who can teach you the right asanas and then start with what you're looking at. And when you go to a teacher, always make sure you tell them what health benefit you are planning. Maybe if you're looking overall well-being, overall flexibility, that's okay. But if you're going to yoga mainly to get some health benefit or health to manage some health condition, it's always good to tell the teacher so that they can help you in a particular way. And also, not all asanas can be done. You have to, no matter which teacher you go to, you should first tell what health condition you have. Imagine we have I have a severe heart issue. I have had pacemakers. I have had multiple heart issues and conditions. And then you go to the first time session and they make you do vigorous exercise, vigorous pranayama. It might not be very beneficial, or it can lead to adverse condition if it is not done properly. Right? So always the teacher needs to be aware of what is your issue and what she or he shouldn't be giving when you have that condition. For example, back pain. If you have back pain, the teacher should not be giving a lot of forward bending exercises. So if you tell them, then they can tell, maybe you should not do it. Maybe the next practice you can join us. And she can tell you that only when she knows your health condition.
Yeah, beautiful. So I know you've been doing that work. I know you do the training in the wellness field, and also you work as a yoga therapist by your own, and you do the private consultation. So if you have to reach with you, so if someone want to reach to Dr. Jasmine, so I will give the number here, or we will give the so we can contact us, and then we can make an appointment with her so that you get to the right person or right professionals to connect with, and so that you're getting the maximum benefit out of it, and also you are understanding it well, and also you getting the benefit with the clear steps and also a clear format for the individualized plan. So because every individual is different, every individual has a different condition and different situation. So what is ideal for them? So there, what is the yoga therapy comes? So So if you would love to have a yoga therapy consultation and having or to get into yoga therapy, so please contact us, and I will drop the link, the contact numbers here, and so we are happy to help you on this journey. And to wrap up, if you are considering that healing journey through yoga therapy, and everyone needs healing, either physical healing or mental healing or emotional healing. So, what is the one practice that you recommend for everyone for healing? So, it could be a simple practice that you can do every day. So, what will be that one practice for the healing?
I think doing a little bit of breathing exercises every day is what I would recommend everybody, because recent lifestyle disorders, that's what we call conditions like hypertension, diabetes, or metabolic disorders, all these things, they are mainly for the way we are leading our lifestyle. And I know nowadays people are becoming very conscious about what they're eating and what they're drinking and also doing a little bit. But maybe not everybody is concentrating on how they're breathing, because we just ignore, we don't actually do sit and concentrate on how much you're taking good inhalation and exhalation. So I think that's a very simple thing to practice in yoga. Not, you don't need a actual setup, you don't need to sit on a yoga mat. Like, you're traveling by train, you're traveling by car, you're traveling by bus, or you're just sitting in your workplace on a break. Just pranayama, especially the Sadanta Sheetali Shitkari I told you, just takes 5 minutes, and you can practice it anywhere. Maybe not immediately after food, but other than that, not immediately after, but other than that, usually any time of the day you can practice it. As soon as you feel stressed, as soon as you feel anxious, people don't know what to do when they're anxious. So practicing these three pranayamas can benefit you a lot. And the techniques are very simple. It's not something complicated that you need a teacher. So if you want, you can go to my Dr. Jasmine D'Souza YouTube channel, and you can find these three pranayamas, which are very simple to practice. Just make it a habit to concentrate on how you're breathing every day, and to put in a little bit effort to do this three pranayamas at least for 5 minutes every day. And that can take you a long way.
Beautiful. One more thing to, because end of the day, it is to deal with the healing,
Yeah.
and it's the healing of body, mind, and the soul. So, what could be the your recommendation having a healing mantra as a yoga as a science of consciousness?
Mm.
And when you consider the science of consciousness and in terms of clinical perspective and in terms of the healing, so what is the one mantra from the yoga that people have to remember every day
Yeah.
so that it can elevate their health and enhance their healing journey and to enhance their well-being?
I think I would just say healthy lifestyle gives you a healthy life.
Beautiful.
So, eating healthy, doing a little bit of exercise, also making sure you take care of your surrounding. A healthy earth also can lead to a happy and healthy life later. So, yeah, that would be my mantra.
All right. Thank you. And to conclude, what I would say, what we are experiencing, we are leading very fast-led life in
Mm,
this stressful and with challenges, and there's lots of things are happening, and also we have that fear of missing, like we don't have time for focus.
mm,
So one thing I realize is we want focus, we want concentration, we want to put your awareness and attention onto one thing. And with this International Yoga Day, and that's what is the mantra of this year is
mm,
one earth and one health. So probably, so you should be asking this question, how can I be that oneness
mm,
or connect to that oneness inside you, the universe inside you, the consciousness inside you? And
mm,
how can I connect that consciousness, or when you are connecting that consciousness or to the soul, then your body and mind can join and balance and align with that oneness so that you are leading a healthy life, and also you have a better healing, and also you connect with our Mother Earth and to the universe, so that we are leading with that oneness. Thank you,
Yes.
Dr. Jasmine. And those who want to connect with us in terms of a yoga therapy, so please drop the comments in. And also, Dr. Jasmine has a yoga channel, so we will drop the link here, and also you can look in here. So thank you, everyone. And thank you once again, Dr. Jasmine, and namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank
Thank
you.
you.